So I just pulled off a dirt road west of Blanding, staging for tomorrow's Recapture field trip. Recapture's a little canyon a little bit east of Blanding where a road was illegally constructed. It was not part of the travel plan. It was not a designated route in the travel plan. And now we're going through this consultation to see whether the county has the right to turn it into an ROW, a right-of-way, even though it's full of archaeological sites. The sun is just coming up. It's looking toward Blanding, where the fields just kind of spread out to the east and then just drop into Recapture Creek. How many you got, Lynn?
7.
6. Wow.
7. We have a baby.
Oh, okay. What's that one's name? Cracker Jack. Spurs. Lynn Stevens, Compassionate Spurs. No horses were hurt at all.
Good morning.
Hi, Rose. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
It's good seeing you out here.
Yeah.
Doing the real thing.
Doing the real
in
thing.
This silly meeting room.
Enjoying the...
Here we go. Dropping down into Recapture. What are there, like 10 or 15 of us? BLM, locals, and then you saw Commissioner Stevens. A couple dogs, including Rio the Wonder Dog. There's the close sign. Tom says no new bullet holes.
Right there. So for those who came later, you can see one right up in here, and a granary over on the opposite side. And as we move further down the trail, if you look back, unless there's too many leaves, there's a larger one right back behind those trees. You should be able to see right there.
Some ruins.
Down there have those been recorded.
Fall of 2007.
Okay. And the erosion's gotten significantly, I mean, when we first saw it, it didn't look like there'd been regular erosion, but because of the treads, it's gullying and downcutting
There's a lot
pretty
of
significantly.
Rock. And it becomes steeper just beyond here. You'll see a spot. Yeah. Let's move on down. The trail work becomes much more obvious. The trail was widened and groomed, and a tread was developed that would be wide enough for, say, your average four-wheeler. So, kind of right about this point and forward, you'll start to see more.
So, but at this would be difficult to get an ATV down to this point.
It has, since we did the closure, it seems to, it's eroded out.
Yeah, it's
quite a bit.
Yeah,
a lot of things have overgrown it. So it's, you're right, it would be difficult.
Indian paintbrush. Lots of growth. Beautiful trail. Great day. So this is a switchback that was made illegally, and Tom said it's much steeper and more prone to erosion than is standard or would be done if done officially. We just talked about archaeological and how even with the publicity of the closing of this place, some of the sites have been seeing a lot more activity even by foot traffic. And the deterioration of them is quite significant. Yeah, you can see how steep this is. Pretty amazing.
So one of the big problems we have with visitors coming into these sites is they move artifacts around. They make little piles of neat things for photography or whatever. What we find is, if we monitor those piles, we find that some of these artifacts start disappearing. Our first step is for visitors to move them into a pile, and it just seems to walk right past. It's right in your face as you go by. And there's a couple of pictographs also.
When I first went on it in the summer of 2008, there was no really defined trail. There were a few spots where you could tell people had walked, but it is, since that time, and even since the trail's been closed, just from foot traffic, it has become a trail.
This wall has structures all along, and anytime there's a ledge. Kind of see that one there. And all up in there. There's just shards all through here. This trail cuts right through.
Look out for their historic properties if they're interested.
So the structures are above us,
Uh-huh.
and the artifact scatter that extends out below.
Uh-huh, because the structures are storage, did you say?
Well, the ones that you can see there are storage.
Yeah.
There would have been habitation structures there as well.
Uh-huh. So this is the beginning or the end, whichever way you're looking at it.
Because this barrier was this tall a month ago, all the way across.
So somebody's moved it?
I would say somebody's driven over it or mashed it down with something.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Looks like.
So I'm headed back north after spending the day in Recapture. Check out those clouds. Looks like a Maynard Dixon painting. And the question is, if there is a right-of-way granted in Recapture Canyon, can it be dealt with? What direct effects will it have on the archaeology? And what are the indirect effects? Later on, there'll be NEPA work done, and that means there'll be an environmental assessment done to decide whether to put the road in at all. In addition, I think there's also a criminal investigation to determine who's responsible for building a road illegally, which was done in 2006. The BLM closed it in 2007. Ooh, I almost hit a gold-demanded ground squirrel. I think I missed it. Anyway, I learned a lot. This is an incredibly rich area. It's close to Blanding. It's easy to hike in, and everywhere you turn around there are archaeological sites.